strongly caution, the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
Happy motherfucking Friday. We're here with another episode of Sound Injection, and we are with Alethea, and you guys look like you're on fucking tour.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Good.
Great.
How are you?
We're doing great.
On the road, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you see us all? I don't know if I can see.
I can see 4 of you guys. Why don't you guys introduce yourself?
Whoa,
Yeah.
look at that.
Who's who? Who's who? Introduce yourself.
I'm Chris, the singer.
I'm Joe. I play drums.
I'm Dylan. I play guitar.
And I'm
Right.
Dave. I play bass.
Sweet.
Excellent.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. So, are you guys currently on tour?
We are. We're doing a little run supporting Anvil. Metal on Metal.
I have not heard that name in a very long time.
They got a new album out and they're touring, so we jumped on a couple dates with them.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. How's that been so far?
Pretty good, you know. Anvil is a fun band. Lips is really funny, and they're, you know, they got their classic act that they do, and a lot of people are coming out. And for us, like, we're new blood to a lot of people, so that is always a cool thing when you get to meet new blood.
Heck
Right,
yeah.
right. So, how long have you guys been a band so far?
Well, it was Dave probably about a week, so
Yeah.
Dave's filling in for Terry on this tour for us. So,
Okay.
but the band's been around for, you know, about like 8 to 10 years, but a lot of different member changes as a lot of bands go through. And I think this lineup that solidified, is it like 3-4 years now, like right before COVID?
No, I joined I think I joined late 2020 because I remember like our first
Late 2020,
rehearsals. We all had masks on and shit.
Yeah, I remember COVID.
Wow.
I remember that. Yeah.
But I don't think I was in the band before that.
Gotcha.
So 5 years.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't been 5 years.
Yeah, dude. Something like that.
It flies, doesn't it? Like before you know it, I'm like, damn.
It all just blends together, you know.
It really does. I completely understand. I couldn't remember what month it was yesterday, so it's okay. It's all
No,
right.
it was the day today because I told her, I was like, we got the
That-
interview today. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
It's Thursday.
it's Friday. She's like, no, it's Thursday. I was like, no, it's Friday. Today's Friday. And she's like, shit.
It
I'm
is
like, yeah,
Friday, so.
show's
No,
tonight.
I'm only getting one at a time. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll get the year right. So,
Baby steps.
We're pulling for you.
Absolutely.
thanks.
Where are you originally from?
So we're Cleveland based. Everybody's pretty close to that. Joe's more on the Akron side. You know, Terry's
nobody
more
knows
east
where that
side. Yeah, pretty much Cleveland based.
Cleveland.
We've done so many Ohio bands in the last like month. It's ridiculous.
There's a lot of
know,
bands
right?
in Ohio.
We have, because we just did Convey the Signs, and we've done Nightmare Empire, and I can't remember how many other Cleveland. We've had some more Cleveland bands than that here recently.
I
But
know.
it's like, it kind of makes me jealous because it sounds like you guys got this like amazing metal scene up there, and like where I'm from, we don't have shit. There is nothing. If you want to see a metal show for like even just local bands, you got to go 2.5 hours south to Jacksonville, Florida. Otherwise, you're not going to get it.
It sounds like you got to move to Cleveland then.
Oh, no, I don't do snow. no.
Not him there if you tried. I'm in Texas. It's just that they're kind of spread all over the place around here. It's a pretty big metal scene. But right now, I mean, Cleveland is just been representing lately. It's just how it's been.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, there is a good scene in Cleveland for sure. We have a lot of bands, different genres, and everybody's working it.
So, as far as like you guys being like, I guess you're kind of doing tours and stuff, so you'd be more of like a regional band than really local anymore. But how is like the local scene as far as like getting shows? Is it hard to get into shows when you're first starting out?
I think if you just go to shows, you'll meet the right people.
Yeah.
It's all everybody who goes to shows is like in a band or doing something. So it's pretty easy to like meet the people you need to meet to get on a show. I don't think it's really that hard.
And there's not really any like gatekeeping or anything. It's, you know, if you show up enough, you'll make friends either way.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to go with that, because like me growing up, because I play in a band myself, and I know growing up and playing down into Florida, it was very kind of elitist in some of those Florida towns. Like if you hadn't been playing for a while and you were up the promoters' asses, constantly kissing their ass, you weren't getting on a show unless you were doing house shows. So I think my first like 4 or 5 years of playing in bands was nothing but like backyard house shows.
Damn.
Shit.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, those are good parties. I remember some great memories at some
Oh, yeah.
places.
I mean, a lot of shit got broken and cops got called a lot, but
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A lot of people waking up in the cornfield. That's how it happens, you know.
right,
Hey.
exactly. So if you guys, given the chance, you could go on tour with 3 bands, who would those 3 bands be? Like you could choose. You could choose dead or alive. It doesn't matter. Dead or alive,
Okay.
around or not. Who would it be?
Let's throw even any genre as
No.
well.
You're fucking up my next question.
No, that's what you get.
That's
There's going to be a flip side to this because then we're going to do the non-genre. Damn it!
Well, I'm throwing out Deep Purple for me. I fucking love Deep Purple. Metallica I was gonna say, but I think that's kind of a given. So I'm going with Deep Purple.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Did you really say the Beatles?
Yeah, dude, if I toured with the Beatles, that'd be crazy.
That would be pretty
That would be
nice.
amazing.
Do acid.
That
with
would
the
be
Beatles.
cool.
Put 100% start playing the sitar.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah. I would.
All right. So if you could jump on a metal tour and bands that are now playing, who would you want to tour with? Like, who would just be your one band that you would absolutely do anything to tour with them?
Oh man.
Well, I don't know about do anything, but
Yeah.
I would go for
Like
fucking
there's-
Iron Maiden because I want to go on that jet with Bruce flying it, man.
That's a good
That would
answer.
be fucking stellar. And then Eddie comes and he gives you a little drinks, you know, like with a tray, you know.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Eddie Airlines.
Yeah, and I mean, just Iron Maiden, like they are just a grassroots band that just have always, they didn't need media or anything. They built their own, and their fan base is loyal and all over the world. I just think that'd be kick ass.
Right.
It's a good one.
Okay. So, as a band at where you're sitting at right now, how do you guys feel about the current situation of music? Do you think it's harder to be a band now than it was per se like 10 years ago?
No, Not
If
really.
anything, it's easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to network and to like
Yeah.
get to know other bands and communicate about shows and stuff. I mean,
Find other people that you want to start a band with. Way more
yeah,
easier.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like we played Reggie's in Chicago last night, and there was some dude that came up and like, hey, I checked you out on Spotify before the show and this and that. So people got a good way to find you too if they see your name out there to see if they want to make the next step to come see you.
Yeah.
I've kind of seen it both ways because we always ask that question on the show, and just kind of depending on, it's like we've had bigger bands come on, and they've always been like, we don't really like it. We're getting ripped off by Spotify. We're getting ripped off here. We're getting ripped off there. But it's like there's a flip side to it because it's a lot easier to get found. But then I can't remember who it was that brought up a good point. They say, yeah, it's easier to get found, but the competition is worse. It's much harder.
If you're getting ripped off as a band, it's probably because you're making pretty good money yourself, I think. So when bands complain about things like, merch cuts and their Spotify numbers and stuff like that, well, that's kind of a position of privilege as a band in a way, because it means that you're playing the big corporate venues. It means that you're actually putting up enough Spotify numbers that you have something to complain about. So, as a more independent DIY band, we don't really playing rock and roll clubs. You're not worried about merch cuts. We're not playing at House of Blues or, what's another, the Agora in Cleveland, any big like corporate, so that's kind of in a way, that's a complaint of a band that has a little bit more privilege, I'd say.
Right.
That band at our level, at least. That's when if you're talking about the merch cuts and all that kind of stuff, it's
Yeah. If you're at the top, it sucks, but down below, there's a lot more room.
It sucks for other
it
reasons.
sucks either way.
It always
It all
sucks
sucks for different reasons.
Right, because we had an interview not too long ago that they were talking about trying to tour with bigger bands, and they were a newer band that was kind of starting to make some headway, and they got invited on a tour, and then of course couldn't do the tour because it was like, okay, we like you, your music's awesome, and they boosted them up, but then it's like, but it's going to cost you $15,000 and 25% of your merch every night.
No, don't do that.
See, that's what I said, because I'm like, I see bands do it all the time, and I'm like,
That's how you get scammed.
That is a scam.
Yeah.
you're going to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because I've had friends in bands that were like close to getting picked up by record deals, and I've even told people, don't do record deals.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, just do it by yourself and build yourself up, because it can be done. There's a lot of artists that do it.
Record deal.
Yeah, there is the means to do that for sure.
CDs are cheap to press.
Yeah.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
I just printed more CDs,
always
$3.50 a pop.
Yeah.
Easy.
And you can always put it out. Really, I mean, Spotify is great if you want somebody to find your music. If you want somebody to be able to access it easily, that Spotify is, kind of a good way to do that. Spotify or YouTube.
I say there's so many different ways now. You got YouTube. I mean, any platform, any social media platform, if you put the time in.
You do, but for me, I still feel like grassroots is the way to go. That you got to get out there, you got to play the shows, you got to meet the people. Because as cool as social media is, there's a lot of stuff that the cover is a lot better than the book. And we want to be the whole book and the whole experience, and you only get that if you hit it live and you get to meet people.
Oh yeah, live is completely
and then
different.
word of mouth's the best, because if people dig you, they're going to tell all your friends, and next time you circle back, it's going to be even better.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. So I love getting we actually like doing the smaller bands on this show just to get you guys more recognition and get you out there. But it also kind of gives people the chance to get to hear some of these stories that you guys talk about, as far as people are like, well, why am I paying, $35 a shirt? Why am I having to pay a band, $300-400 to come fucking play? And it's like, you have no idea how much time and energy and money goes into being a fucking band. Like, you have no idea, but getting to watch this show and getting guys like y'all where you could be like, hey, look, this is why. Like, do you want to go to work and fucking do it for free every day? Hell no. Absolutely not. Ain't nobody going to do that shit. And they're like, well, they chose to do this. Well, you chose to go to your job. You chose to apply there.
Well, and we're choosing to do both. They really do both and burn the candles at both ends and in the middle. And, you know, there's nothing like a live show. That's what I always preach. That is the only thing I preach too, is just always go to the live show because there's magic that happens with those. You don't know when it's going to happen again. And you make lifelong friends through music.
Right.
You know, you do. There's something special there.
Right. So speaking on, we'll get into some fun shit and get into live shows. I want to know from each one of you, what is the craziest shit that's ever happened to you playing a live show?
Oh, no.
Oh, playing a live show?
I played something. I can't even think of it.
Oh man,
Weird flex.
Yeah.
I don't know. Craziest shit. There's always crazy
There's
shit.
not much.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. There's a lot of nakedness and beer bongs and shit that has happened in my past, you know. Not me being naked, but well, one time we had a wardrobe malfunction, but whatever. But
I mean, like people hanging from the ceiling, rafters.
yeah,
while
you
you're
guys,
playing.
you guys always have people that I'm like worried they're gonna fall and crack their head. I'm like ready to
There
catch
have
them,
been
you
some
know.
rough spills. and
They're
shit.
they get crazy.
They're hanging from the rafters.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, Dylan
Okay.
and Dave play in this killer thrash band called Assault, and their crowd goes crazy. And Joe is also a Nunslaughter, and that's crazy shit too. That he plays all over the world. But I think for me, when I was in a different band many years ago, we played at the Peabody's in Cleveland, Ohio. That's a great legendary venue that
I've heard of it.
place. And at that time, everybody knows Peabody's. Very cool. At that time, everybody in the band had cables. You know, we weren't really wireless. And I remember I was singing, and the two guys are crazy animated, and they kept crisscrossing, and I literally was wrapped like in a spider web and could not move because I had cables all over me. So, so for me, that's probably that. And I've fallen off stage many times because that just happens, you know. So,
Cool, Steven Tyler.
yeah. But I'm here.
You just make it part of the act.
Yeah.
that's more of an
That's
Ozzy move, I think, to fall off stage.
Yeah.
Well, this one time they had this big cabinet on wheels, and I thought I could just step on it. I stepped on it and started going out like a skateboard. And this dude came over and he stopped it, and he just like put his arm on my leg, and I'm like, but I kept singing. Nothing happened. Yeah.
Show must go on.
Sometimes you got to keep on going. I've seen
Go
that
with the flow.
in all my days of playing, and I've seen singers face plant in the middle of the damn stage and just still keep on going. I'm like, oh man. It's like, I think one of the worst ones I ever seen. I wasn't playing it, but I went to his Welcome to Rockville in Jacksonville, and Ministry was up, and Al Jorgensen came up there, and you could tell he was drunk. I mean, he was obliterated, and he was walking around, and I mean, he face planted right smack in the middle of that damn shit, and then proceeded to roll off the stage, which was probably a good 6-foot drop off that raised stage, and got up and still sitting there going, there's blood. I mean, all over the damn place. And I'm just like, holy shit. I don't know how the hell you're doing that, because I know he had to rip some of them damn piercings out and shit that he had in his fucking face. And I'm just like, God dang.
You
Hell.
probably didn't feel it though. If
Probably
you're
had
drunk,
some-
you know.
Probably had some other stuff going through his
Yeah.
veins.
Oh, I'm
What was it?
I'm sure. So throughout the playing, have you guys ever had a crazy fan interaction?
Interactions with crazy
Just have an open
crazy
mic.
fans.
Fan or people?
Every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
These get interesting. I love hearing these.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like so many. It's kind of hard to just come.
I mean, there was like 2 or 3 homeless people the other night.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were losing arguments to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
We didn't have to outsource.
That's a good question, but what's the next question?
Here, that one does not compute.
Mojo, I know
It's,
you
just,
got
it's almost
some.
like that's the norm, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's always something.
Everyone is some kind of crazy.
You should
Some
be
kind of
asking,
weirdo.
Who is the most normal
Yeah.
person you've met at a show?
Yeah,
That's
who's-
probably the
Who's
question.
the most?
tell you. Yeah,
Who's the most
That would
average?
be.
middling-
Okay. Okay. All right, Mojo. I know you got some.
The
Jump
things that
right
always
in there.
stand out to me are like the show at Reggie's. There was this one chick in the audience, and she was like digging it and like getting in our set and everything. She's all by herself. She comes over and talks to the merch later, and she says her friends dumped her, but she's like, "I'm still going to the show." And I'm like, "That's the good crazy that I remember." That's what I'm like.
That's
Good for you.
crazy.
Man. You know?
That's
And
some dedication.
hell yeah,
Yeah,
and she
hell yeah.
she lived like 40 minutes away. She's coming into downtown Chicago. And it was a great show, and she was great, her energy. So I'm happy she was there and that she did it. You
Heck
know, yeah. So that's kind of good crazy stuff I remember, because everybody else is just, it's all part of the fabric of it.
Yeah.
That's good. So I've had some bizarre shit that happened to me while playing. I mean, really bizarre shit. I'm just like, did everybody else get this shit? Because I've had some crazy shit happen to me, and I love hearing the different stories. We've had some on here tell us about them getting fucking blood thrown on them and fucking all kinds of fucking shit here lately.
We're like, hey,
So
all right.
put into it. Oh yeah, my other one. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Absolutely,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, sure.
100%.
It's fine.
See? It's
See, there's so much. No, there's so many people that hate on that shit.
They
Fucking
do.
You don't like
they
it. You don't-
shouldn't.
What do you mean? Wait, I thought you liked pineapple on pizza.
I do. They shouldn't hate on it.
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying. I got it.
Are you sure?
So, if you could tell any upcoming bands that are like brand new, just starting, what is the one piece of advice that you could give them? Like the most important to you as to a brand new band starting?
Fucking stick with it.
Yeah, it sucks, but
Yeah.
how bad do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just do what makes you happy sound wise. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing or anything else. If you're digging on it or want to explore this, just do it.
And get your shit the fuck off stage.
Yeah.
You get it?
When you're fucking done, get the fuck off stage. Don't take your
Move
cymbals
your
off.
ass.
Listen, don't take your cymbals off the fucking stands. Get them out. Get out of here. Go away. You're
Easy
done.
on, easy
Get
off.
off the stage.
Don't fuck around.
Get off the stage. That's
I know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah. Just
I
watch
kind of
people that-
understand this. Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen many drummers start trying to break down piece by piece
Let
right
go,
on
brother.
the page.
What can I?
That
What
is
can I help
under
you
Let's
take off?
mosey
under
on.
a rookie move, you know.
Let's move your whole set right now.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot, a whole fucking lot, and it gets really annoying really fast and fucks shit up. I've seen bands get completely cut out of shows because people want to fuck off and not just get the shit off and break it down somewhere else other than on the damn
Right
set.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. And like we do a festival ourselves that we host in Cleveland called Shotgun Bowl, and it's 8 bands, 2 rooms, and you know, you got to keep a timeline. You got to be respectful of all the people coming to the show,
Mhm.
and not
Yeah.
fuck around, because things can't run over. It's got to be well run.
Oh yeah, I used to be a promoter and have ran some shows and shit like that, and it's like I would go out there to the bands and be like, please don't break nothing down on the stage. Take it. Here's your area. Fucking do it here. Get it the hell off. Go, move, because we have so many bands and so many time slots and not a whole lot of fucking time for you to fuck off. So
Yeah.
just move
Yeah.
the shit.
The other thing that I would say is like stay till the end of the show. If you're a part of any show, stay to the end and be a part of it, the whole part of it.
I even here, like back when I was probably in my low 20s, I never understood that. Like I would always stay, but there's so many bands I would see them pack up and leave. Like
Yeah.
as soon as they're done, they were gone. And I'm like, aren't you kind of cutting yourself out? Because you could still sit there and like sell merch, and you could still go out and talk to people, and you have no idea because somebody may have missed your set, but just because they like the fact that you're talking to them and spending that time with them, they might come buy a damn t-shirt just to fucking buy it.
Right.
Well, yeah, and it's cool just to watch the other bands.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's the camaraderie of it and bringing music together. Just because you're playing on the same stage, you should be able to talk and have a good time too. That's what I
You'd be surprised, Mojo, at how many bands like get that attitude and that ego, and they're like, "Oh, fuck them, you know, we're better. We don't need to watch them." And that happened a lot here, you know, back in the day, where they're like, you know, "Fuck everybody else. We're the best. Now we're gonna fucking leave. We're not gonna stay for them.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna do the shit."
Yeah, it doesn't happen as much as it used to, but it's just good advice for anybody who's trying to get into it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a
Good
respect
person.
thing, and being respectful to other bands and kind of helping each other out. You never know, because that band that you just, you know, you were super nice to, they might fucking blow up and turn around and be like, "Hey, you want to go on tour with us? We got a fucking tour we can book you to right now."
Yeah. Like those guys were super cool. Yeah. See, that's why you should just be nice to everybody. Everybody should just be nice.
Yeah, it's not a competition.
Yeah.
Come on. There's
Shit.
plenty.
They gotta compete for
Plenty of the
slots
world.
and compete for shows and stuff like that. I mean, if you're good, you'll get shows. If you're not a total asshole, you'll get shows. You know, so some bands maybe aren't the best, but if they're really fucking cool, you know,
Mhm.
they're cool to have around. You'll get shows.
Yeah.
You know, so being cool, hanging around, you know, showing your face, it helps for sure.
Right, it definitely does. So you guys stay put. We're going to take a very quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Right on.
All right,
Oh,
So
perfect.
I got another good one. It's a good side and a bad side to the best road food you've ever had and the worst.
Ooh.
Best road food. I had Texas barbecue a couple weeks ago. I was in Lubbock, and it was like $12. I got half a chicken and like all these sides, and it was like the most filling, nutritious, delicious, amazing, tender, slide off the bone, spectacular barbecue. And
That's
after
good.
eating nothing but shit for a couple weeks, it was amazing.
I'd say
Good.
barbecue as well, but it was in Kansas City, and it was smoked prime rib,
Oh,
and it
shit.
was unbelievable.
Oh,
I had some wings in Buffalo not too long ago that kind of changed my life. This crappy little Irish pub. It was like Adolph's Pub or something like that. Don't read into that. It's an Irish name.
Like, I didn't name the club.
Great wings. I didn't ask questions.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
oh,
mine was like in Pittsburgh. There's some dynamite panini sandwiches and stuff out there. So
Good
All right.
sandwich.
What's the worst? What's the worst you've ever had?
I was in a diner in Maine, and it was like over an hour wait because it was like 4 tables. And then we got in there, and it was the shittiest service in the world. And the breakfast was disgusting, and it was like $30. So
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
nightmare.
You
Gas
can't be
station.
doing that. It's especially in the morning time. Nobody's in the mood for that in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
True.
The
Very
ass
true.
crack of 1 p.m. It's terrible.
Dave, what was yours?
Oh yeah, great gas station sushi. I took a risk.
Yes, somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody else
I've
did
been
that.
answer every time.
Oh.
Gas station sushi, because I made the same mistake once, and I'll
Yeah.
never make it again.
Yeah, this is a
Oh, man.
landlocked state. We're in a gas station. We're in a speedway. They probably get their fish fresh. We're good, dude.
Why would you think gas station fresh?
You know
They
what?
don't go together.
It's the 2020s.
Yeah, it's 2024. There's science.
Look,
I've
I don't know
had
about
a fish
Dan,
fry at gas
but I
station.
had a good reason because I was on tour. I was busy dealing with a damn blowout tire because I was like the only one in the band that knew how to change a fucking tire. So I'm back there changing the tire. They all decide to go in. They're like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Just get something. Like, just whatever. Fucking get something." That was the wrong answer because this guy goes in and gets all of us like gas station sushi,
Ooh.
all
Yeah.
of it, and we all eat
Because
it,
it was on sale.
and we all got.
Nah.
And I'm talking 6 things. And when you
I
got
bet.
4 dudes in a hotel room, sick as hell, it's not fun.
In one toilet.
I see things that I don't even want to mention happen.
Somebody's
Like,
got
go look at me.
When you got one dude on the toilet, one dude in the sink, and one guy in the shower, and one shit in the flower pot on the balcony, it's not good.
Man.
It's not good at all. It's very bad.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But gas station wise, I do have to say, if you're going to stop at a gas station and you want good food, fucking Buc-ee's.
Without
Yeah.
a doubt.
Oh, yeah. Hell
Fuck.
yeah.
Phone's propped
I
up.
don't care.
Yeah,
Buc-ee's,
show him real quick. Hold the
We-
phone.
we
Hold the
actually-
phone. Check that.
Okay, yeah. Here, this is what we're
I got the
propping up our
fucking. I got the
phone.
Buc-ee's fucking neck pillow. Dog.
Hell yeah.
So
We know the power of Buc-ee's.
Yes.
No,
The power
man,
of Buc-ee's is amazing.
we've talked to a few bands that are like just now starting to get where they're starting to tour, and I'm like, if you ever get the chance to stop at Buc-ee's, please take the time to stop at Buc-ee's. Like, make time to stop at Buc-ee's, and trust me, you'll fucking thank me afterwards.
Gotta get some
Yeah.
beaver nuggets. They're great.
It's good information you're giving them.
Everything at Buc-ee's. Only takes me 2.5 hours to decide what kind of gummies I want because I'm addicted to fucking gummy candy. Doesn't matter. I just like gummy candy. But I didn't know there's got to be a goddamn fucking wall that was 25 feet long of fucking gummies.
Yep.
Well, we're in Michigan right now. If there's some other gummies you're after, we can pick some up for you here.
Okay.
There's some good gummies.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Gummies are good.
All right, next one. Babe, what is each one of yours drink of choice? And I'm talking like adult drink of choice.
I quit drinking a couple of years ago.
Okay, good enough.
Good for you. Good job.
Liquid Death, unofficial
I
sponsor.
do like Liquid Death.
All right. Everybody has a drink or something.
Crap. I guess can't go wrong with a High Life or a Jack and Coke.
Okay.
Tequila and Red Bull will ruin you.
Oh god.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Red Bull.
Violent, dude.
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
have never
Together?
heard of that ever.
It sounds not good.
It's delicious. It's honestly delicious.
Wow.
And you know what? I get less
Wow.
hungover off tequila than I do beers. Like,
Yeah.
I could get drunker off tequila. You'll find it's better for you. So
That is the best one I've heard.
Are you trying to
But
spin
still-
that into the healthier option?
no, I'm not saying it's healthier, but it's
Oh, it is not healthy. You are drinking an alcohol and a stimulant.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
That's like I've heard of. Like we've had some musicians come
Yeah,
on
heart
who love those fucking Four Loco things. I'm like, you are
No.
fucking.
way too much sugar.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have to
no.
do sugar-free
Sick.
Red Bull.
No.
Sugar-free
I
Red Bull. No
I
hangover.
threw up in a shower while taking a shower. It was rough.
Yeah.
Best place to throw up though.
Yeah, really, because you could just
Yeah.
shower. Yeah.
But didn't feel good about myself.
Ooh, well, I used to be a Jack and Coke Lemmy girl, but I don't drink as much now. So my homebrewed tea I really like though.
And the non-alcoholic IPAs.
Oh yeah, I do like the athletic brews. The
Those
NAs.
are- okay.
Yeah.
I try because I love craft beer. Craft beer and bourbon is like my two things, and love craft beer. And I'm actually during the day I'm a property manager, and I take care of short-term vacation rentals, big ass mansions and shit. So people leave tons of alcohol, and somebody left a big.
So are you saying when we tour that way, we got a place to stay? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I can get you that. Hey, you come down to South Carolina, I got you.
Right on. Thank you. Okay, so we leave a bunch of alcohol.
Yeah, so I bring home this 12-pack of this Athletic Brew, and I didn't even look at it. I'm just like, oh, beer, cool. Fucking take it home. It was an Athletic Brewing IPA, and I opened it up, and I started drinking them, and I'm drinking them. And before I know it, I've made it through the whole damn 12-pack of the day, and I'm like, I don't feel shit. And I look at that's why. I'm like, well, damn, that was, I don't know how I feel about this. How I feel about this. Damn, it was good. It tastes like shit. Like it tastes like a legit IPA. So I was impressed. I give it up to Athletic Brewing. They did it up. I was thoroughly impressed. So moving forward, what is y'all's biggest goal right now as a band to accomplish?
To play Wacken or Summer Breeze.
Yes. To go to Germany, to Europe to play, and to get our next album.
Yeah, to write a new record.
Which we are in the process of doing.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
It's great to hear.
So how do you guys are you a band that likes the recording and writing process, or is it something that you just want to fucking blow through so you can get back on stage?
It's part of the deal. I mean, it's all part of the cycle, but
I think it's like, I love it. I love it because it's a song's not done until it's done. So there's always an excitement to it. And whatever is the last song that we worked on always ends up being my favorite because like you're living it right then and there. But you got to just balance it though, because you got to do both.
Yeah, because I've met a lot of bands where they're like, I hate writing or I fucking hate recording. And for me, I am not a big fan of the recording process. I do love writing because writing for me is like, I know for a lot of musicians, it's kind of therapeutic that you can just sit there in a room by yourself and just sit there and fucking play and come up with different shit. And it's very therapeutic. But then whenever it comes to the recording, I don't know why it stresses me the fuck out so bad. And I hate click tracks. I fucking hate click tracks with a goddamn prejudice. I don't know if I may be the only musician in the world that hates them, but I fucking hate click tracks.
Well, we know where you stand on that, so.
Okay, good. I'm like, am I the only one that fucking hates doing shit to click tracks? Hate it so bad.
I love it. It's great.
That's how you live.
Keeps you honest.
True.
Yeah.
Well, Dylan is, besides being a really kick-ass musician and writer, he's got a lot of skills with recording. So that makes it an extra fun process too, because he can kick it out for us.
I love the of recording because, like, especially making demos and stuff, is low stakes. So when you're just trying, like, I write through recording. I've always like written songs using like GarageBand and programming drums and stuff. So to me, that's like my creative process. So recording, it's so fun. All the different sounds and stuff you get to experiment with and see how different guitar amps change the feel of the song, or see what kind of weird shit you can add in the background to like intensify different parts. I really like that.
Okay. I like it. Fair enough. So do you guys, have you ever recorded in like an actual professional setting and went to an actual studio and recorded at all?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
The last album.
So do you prefer doing that or doing it yourself?
It all depends.
It's easier to have somebody else running the ship. It's less stressful, but you relinquish some sort of control over the finished product that way too.
You got to really trust the person and know that their ear and what they do is going to be an extra ear that'll help elevate things.
Right.
Yeah.
for me, we like my band. We actually like to do it ourselves better than going into a professional setting. Because I always feel like it's stressful. Like you've paid this money, you're on a time restraint. They're like, oh, you pay this much money for this much time, so you have this much time to knock this shit out. As to where when you're doing it yourself, if you're able to do it yourself, you can take your time. You can sit there meticulously, go through everything, get everything correct, get everything the way you want to without having to spend that extra fucking money or having that extra stress.
I kind of feel like when you go into the studio, though, you're going to be at a certain level, ready to just
it's
to hit it.
It's 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. Because if you're prepared, if you're well prepared, you know, the 5 P's: proper planning prevents poor performance. So you know, it's kind of like. You know, there is, it's fine. It's fine. So, you know, it's kind of like pressure makes diamonds in some ways. So, yeah, I get how it can be difficult. It is difficult to do the thing, you know, that's the hardest part sometimes is just taking the step to record, taking the step to write the song, taking the step to book the show, you know, but to some extent, you got to have sometimes you have to have a deadline on something. And when the time comes, you got to be ready to do it. You know, when you step on stage, it's no different. It's absolutely no different because, you know, you better be ready. You're going up there, you know, so it's sometimes maybe people are too precious with their art, you know, to some extent. What's great about it is you can be precious about it and be worried about how it's going to come out. But the great part is you can just do something else. You can just keep, that's the thing that bands are afraid of is okay, well, the last one didn't come out so good. Just do another one. Keep going. Keep going, you know, cause you can always write a new record, you know, you can always do another tour, you know, whatever it is. So, you know, don't be so precious. There's another tip. Don't be so precious about your art. Just fucking make it.
Make it and share it. Yeah.
Make and share it. If people don't like it, well, whatever. But also, if they don't like it, they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
So
they don't gotta listen to it.
That's another thing is like I like to get other people's opinions on this whole thing. Is how do you deal with people that come up to you and is like, I fucking hate your music, you suck, or bullshit on social media.
People are too big, too big fucking pussies to say that shit to your face.
Well,
these days. So.
I've had some people.
I couldn't even fucking say it. Too big to fucking. We're a bunch of bitches. Nobody these days would say that to your face.
Yeah.
No, I've had some people say to me that, and you'll know him. I'll tell you who. But actually, it was a super cool thing. He just says, Chris, your music is not like my style or what I dig, but I love watching you on stage. You know, like you can appreciate the performance, and that's cool.
Yeah.
If it's not something that connects with him musically. It's not supposed to be for everybody. You know, it's an art.
You should understand that it's not going to be for everybody. You know?
Yeah.
It's like anything else. It's not for everybody. So
I would love somebody to hate on my music because when is anybody ever critical about it? You know?
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, "Whoa, sick, dude!"
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, I love it," whatever. I'd rather somebody be honest with me than blow smoke up my ass.
Yeah, and everybody's not supposed to like it because you're not writing for everybody. If you're trying to write something for everybody to like, you're not coming from the right place inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. See, because I've seen so many bands like just quit over like social media shit, and I'm like, why?
Social media, who gives a shit about that?
Why?
You're people encouraged. Who cares?
You haven't found.
It's not real.
Yeah. Haven't found your area, especially with bands that start getting like real experimental as far as metal is, because now I feel like heavy metal has become this whole different entity, because now you're getting people mixing hip hop into it and electronica and EDM into it. And I love it. Like when Korn did that album Path of Totality, like it fucking blew me away. I fucking loved it. But there's a lot of people that fucking hated on it. It was like, it's garbage. It's terrible. And I'm like,
metal is the only genre that always has had like all these offshoots. Like you can see those graphs, you know, where it's the math metal, the pirate metal, the whatever, which I think is so cool about it because it can go in so many directions. So yeah, but who cares? Whatever somebody says on social media, it, you know, if they're saying shit, whatever, who cares? Sometimes people just want to get a shock value or whatever. That all just also goes back to just doing what works for you and pushing yourself. You're your only competition, and just do it.
Right. So that gets me to the next question. How do you guys personally feel about all these like different labels and subgenres within metal? Because I've heard a lot of bands like it and they think it's interesting, but we've had a lot be like, no, fuck that, metal's metal.
Yeah, I think metal's metal.
Yeah, dude, I
don't know. I think it's fine.
I've never read that far into it.
When you get like 4 levels
Yeah.
deep, then it just gets so stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you're the one contributing to that level of minutia, I guess, then it's like get a job or get a hobby.
Right.
Like
Touch grass.
yeah, touch grass. Like, you know, if you're really dissecting it that much, it's like, do you like it or not?
Right.
How about
Right.
that?
Yeah.
You fucking like it or not? You know, it doesn't matter. And ultimately, none of it matters. It's not worth arguing about.
Labels don't
Like-
matter. They don't.
I know I get hated on a lot because I like a lot of like really like bizarre metal. Like I used to listen to like a lot of one of my favorite bands was I Wrestled a Bear Once. I don't know if y'all had ever heard of them.
Classic,
Yeah.
classic fucking weird band. Classic.
Yeah, it's like I
band.
love shit like I Wrestled a Bear Once and Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza and
There's the one he knows. Tony
Yeah.
Danza is fucking
Yeah.
great.
yeah, I fucking love them. I love those bands, and I used to get like metal elitists that would fight me online. They're like, "That's not metal. That's just garbage." I'm
Whatever.
like, dude, do you realize what goes into that shit and what they're playing? Like, and how fast it, I mean, that's some technical ass shit if you really fucking break it down. They're like, oh, no, it's not. It's just sound.
Yeah, well, that's never going to go away because it's happening now. You got the same thing happening with these like new bands and stuff, and like all these old heads are complaining about how they don't know why the fuck these bands are so popular, this, that, and the other, and it's like, that part will never go away. You'll always have a bunch of old heads fucking pissing and moaning about how the new shit sucks. So,
Right.
so a lot of new shit does suck. I'll be an old head and say a lot of new shit sucks. It sucks bad. It sucks bad, or it sounds like the same cookie cutter. Like that's the thing.
The problem with it.
Is
It all
everything's
sounds the
cookie
same.
cutter? It sounds the same. Every band wants to sound like some other band because they think it's gonna get them signed
Well,
or
I think
whatever.
that's a problem with metal too. Is like so many people. It's like while a lot of bands are super experimental and weird, at the same time, it's like very polar opposite too. Where every band's like, "Oh, dude, we're gonna make a record. It's gonna be so heavy," and then it just sounds like Bolt Thrower too.
Yeah.
Come on.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that.
I'm tired of listening to the same fucking record. Why would I listen to your shit when
Yeah.
I could just go listen to Bolt Thrower?
True that. I could definitely get behind that. So my next question for each one of you, and I know every musician has this moment, but for each one of you, what was that like defining moment that you were like, I want to be a musician and this is what I want to do?
It's when I had a kid and then started smoking weed. and I was listening to the reissue of Meshuggah's Nothing,
Okay.
smoking a joint with my buddy, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. Fucking, this is what I want to do. So that's what did it for me. Was having a kid and smoking
Hey.
dope when I was 24 or
It
something like
happens.
that. Perfect.
That's your story, Joe.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's the moment. Core
That's
memory.
the story.
That's good. You win the prize. That's a good. You know? Yeah. For me, it was just like the first cover band I was ever in, like in high school, and just having that stage experience and the energy that not only you get from the crowd, but what you put forth to make it happen. It's a magic spot on stage. So that was it for me.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same. Like I couldn't pin it on one moment. I feel like as soon as I started playing music, it was like, oh, why didn't I do this forever ago? But yeah, the first time on stage, it was like, yeah, dude, definitely. You know, exactly. Just connecting with people on that level is really sick.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Honestly, there wasn't really one moment. I remember the first good time on stage because the first couple really sucked, and it's always gonna suck no matter what. But if you get past it, then you get to that point where it really doesn't suck, and then you're hooked.
Yeah.
That I don't know how to do fucking anything else.
Yes. Yes.
I'd be fucked.
Fair enough.
I have no practical life.
Yes. Skill wise, we're fucked.
So I've been asked that question a bunch of times in the past, and I had to sit there and think about it. And I was like, damn, I said it had to go back to like when I was a kid, because I was an MTV kid, grew up on MTV and Headbangers Ball and all that shit. And I was like, I tell everybody the same thing. It was, and they're always like, why'd you pick bass? You can, because I could play about anything, but they're like, you always stick with bass guitar. Why bass? Nobody gives a shit about the bassist. I'm like, Lemmy. The very first time I ever seen Motorhead and Ace of Spades, and I seen Lemmy, he was like fucking God to me growing up. And I was like, that's why. And I remember my grandfather taking me to go buy my first instrument, and I'm like, I want the bass. He's like, really? Not drums, not guitar? Nope. I want to be like Lemmy. I want that fucking bass guitar.
Lemmy is God.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like,
Whoever told you bass isn't important, go kick him in the balls, because that is important, man.
I love the cliche because it get out to bully Dave, but I mean the bass is like, yeah, I hate that people sleep on it.
I've heard that so many times. They're like, the bassist doesn't matter. I'm like, all right.
They don't
Okay.
know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, take it out of a track and you'll know real quick. You know?
Exactly.
They have a terrible bassist in their band.
Exactly.
All right, so now that we're rolling down on time, where do you guys like to interact with fans, and where do you want where can they buy merch? Where can they buy CDs? All that stuff.
Oh, of course, the Bandcamp for anyone that's not local. They can pick it up at shows. They can hit us up on our Facebook and Instagram, you know, anywhere. But Bandcamp is really a great place for a lot of bands to move their merch and stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So all y'all that are watching out there, if you're in the areas, where's the next places y'all are playing? What do you got left?
Tomorrow we are at the Sanctuary in Detroit, and then Sunday we will be at the Winchester in Cleveland, Ohio.
Nice.
I have heard about the Winchester, and I've seen so many. I don't know why. I've seen like 7 or 8 bands that I'm friends with members that I've seen pictures posted of the Winchester in like the last like week. And I'm like, all right, apparently I need to go travel and go to this place, because apparently
It's a good club. They get a lot of good tourists through there. We definitely have a good scene in Cleveland where a lot of different clubs get good things going through.
All the same.
awesome.
Yeah, and all in the same area. Yeah, that's true. Because right down the street's the Foundry and No Class, and yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 4-block radius. It's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. So we appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with us. Everybody, please go check them out. Go to their Facebook page, support them, follow them, buy their shit. Buy their
YouTube.
music. Go to a live show, for fucking God's sake, please.
Yes.
Always go to
said.
live show. Yes.
Yes.
Do it.
Thank you all for having us, and it's really good talking to both Florida and Texas at the same time.
Florida,
That's
Texas, and
right. You
Ohio.
guys come to
Yeah.
Texas, we'll have some barbecue and have a good time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So everybody out there, we'll see y'all next Friday for another episode. And until then, we're out.
Heavy metal for life.
Yeah.
Thank you all.